Hi guys, I'm Cheryl from Tiny Modernist, and this is, I don't know what number of FlossTube it is, but it's been a while since I've put one together, so I thought it's high time to get back on here and chat with you guys for a little bit. So we'll see how long I last. I think some of those longer FlossTubes are probably beyond what I'm up for today, but I will go through a bunch of the new stuff that I have. And I'll show you some samples, I'll show you the models and the charts, and we can just have a little chat time together. I've got my tea. So we'll just settle in and chat. It's been a long time since I've done one, I think almost 2 years, because we moved into a new place in the country, and I've just been, well, COVID of course has kept us inside for a long time, but now that we're kind of out of that, but in the meantime we just spent a lot of time in the garden and renovating this place, and I've had a really good time, but it seems like now's the time to kind of come out and chat again. So anyways, here we are. So it's March 2022, and I did not get to Nashville this year. Unfortunately, I regret, and I missed everybody there, but it just seemed like it was not quite yet time to venture into the US for me. So anyways, what I wanted to do was show all the new stuff that's coming out, or has already come out, I guess, for March, and I'll show you some of the stuff that's going to be coming in April. And yeah, we'll just have some fun. So first off, I think what I like to do is maybe start with, you know what, I'm going to start with actually the Nashville exclusive that I did for Yarn Tree. They've approached me the last couple years to do an exclusive. Several designers do this, and so I did this one for them, and they had it at Nashville this year. It's called Scissors with Flowers, and it's just a pretty one. I'll give you a little close up there. So this one was the Yarn Tree exclusive. They have it now. They sold out at Nashville actually, which was very cool. I'm going to be offering it myself as a PDF and paper chart through shops on May 1st. This is the paper chart here. So that's available now through Yarn Tree or through shops, obviously you purchase from Yarn Tree. And then in May I'll put it out as a PDF on my website, and other shops will be able to have it as well. So if you can't wait, you can look up through Yarn Tree or through other places. I'm sure people have taken pre-orders and whatnot on this pretty one. So there's that one. Oh, maybe I should show you the Happy Alphabet, which is a 9-part series that we're running this year. It started in January. I'll show you the model. I have a fabulous model stitcher, Kim, who's doing this one. It's over 1, so she's incredibly stitching this. It's on 25 count, over 1. So that's why it's so tiny. I think it would be about 4 times the size if it was done on a over 2, like 28. But yeah, she's done a lovely job, and I'm only showing you up to L, which is going to be coming out. JKL is coming out April 1st, so it's a little bit of a sneak peek, although I may not, I don't know, I'll get this up before April. That's like still 2 weeks away. Okay, so basically these are the first 4 releases, and I'm going to be releasing the remainder of them in the next few months. I'm hiding the next 2 here. I've just temporarily finished it. Honestly, it's just taped to the back of some foam board, and I'll finish it properly once it's been stitched, but I just wanted to do this for you guys to see it. And the nice thing about this one here, so it's a full alphabet, and then the last square is a little secret motif one that'll be coming out with Y and Z, or Z. They are actually pretty versatile pattern. So you can do it as a sample here, and the border pattern is available as a PDF, a free PDF on my website. So you can stitch them up as you've seen there in the model, or each design, each letter comes with additional motifs and a border to stitch these little pin cushions. So this one is A. Oh, and I should mention too that I've also included a hair and skin suggestion guide with all kinds of different skin and hair colors. You can modify beards and faces and whatnot just to suit your preference. And some of them are fun, I would say more like natural skin colors. And then I threw in some fun, you know, if you want to make sort of crazy colored hair and whatnot, I threw in like a plum color and some oranges and stuff just to have fun with it. So she's been modified from the, I guess, the original pattern where she had some orange hair and just a lighter skin. So now she's got the darker hair. And then I throw in the color suggestions as well. So yeah, so that was the A. I've done one pin cushion from each month. So this is the E one with the elephant. And the back has these sweet little tiny elephants. So yeah, so these pin cushions are pretty fun to stitch up. You can also use the motifs, they're tiny little motifs, right? So you could stitch them up as cards or use them in other ways, right? So they're actually a lot of designs for your money's worth, I guess, when you purchase them. There's the H one here. H is for hummingbird. I really like this one. And then the back has the cutest little hummingbird. So yeah, I mean, you could use that as a little card, right? It'd be super cute. Okay, so there's that one. And then the one that's coming out in April is JKL. So here's the juggler. And I actually have made a separate FlossTube video on how to finish these. I think in the video I started using, for this one, this is the first one I made, I used some batting, quilt batting as in layers and stuffed it. And that worked, although I find it's not quite as maybe substantial as these ones. The later ones I've made, I actually, like once you've stitched it around and left a little hole for stuffing, I actually have just been using polyfill in there, and I found that gives it a bit more body and thickness to it. So you could try either way, depending on the look you're doing. I think also in the instructions and possibly in the video as well, I suggested that you could put a little button in the middle here. I haven't done that on any of these ones so far. I like the look of this one, but you can add a little button in here as well, just for decorative purposes. So yeah, so that's the Happy Alphabet. It will be finishing this year, September. That'll be the last one of the 9 releases. So if you want to sign up for that one, when you sign up for any of my stitch-alongs or series through the website, you get all of the previous releases in the PDF. So if you sign up now, for example, for the Happy Alphabet, you'll get everything from A to L, and then April 1st, you get a new email that has the new release plus everything previously released in the PDF. So I get a lot of questions about that. So yeah, pretty easy. It's a one-time payment. If you prefer paper copies, you can get the same designs in shops. They come as paper copies, like ABC is in one, DEF is in one, along with the extra motifs for pin cushions. And so you can buy those separately as paper copies from shops. All right, so on to the next one. Oh, one of my, it only released a few weeks ago and it's already one of the more popular designs. And of course, Wizard of Oz, which everybody loves. It's such a classic. This is a follow-up design to the one I had out last Christmas, which was the Nutcracker tree, which was another really popular design of mine. I didn't bring the model to me here, but anyway, so it's a follow-up designs with the same kind of like tree kind of structure, but I've tried to get all the main characters in. There's the actual Emerald City, and there's like the witch's feet. You've got Glinda and some munchkins, and of course the Scarecrow, the Lion, the Tin Man, and Dorothy, and Toto, of course, had to fit in there. Got the witch and a flying monkey. Honestly, those flying monkeys freaked me out a little bit, so this one is a cute one. I mean, they're all cute, but and then I didn't fit the wizard in, but we've got his air balloon there. So yeah, so that's a nice one, and it's been doing well. This was a suggestion actually through Coffee Stitcher on Instagram. He said, oh, you know, we'd love for something like Wizard of Oz from you, and I thought, oh, I could follow it up with like a tree design. And I've had a few people actually ask since then for other ones, so we may we may get another one next year, and I can tell you I have a Halloween one already designed. I have to stitch it. So that one will be coming out probably in the late summer. So there's already a few more of these little tree things coming out, which I think are fun. So there was that one, and then, well, you know, I'm one day late for St. Patrick's Day, but I'll show you the new mouse one. She's here. So this is Mouse's Lucky Day, and it came out a little while ago, so the people, I've seen it already stitched up from on Instagram and Facebook for people who have had time to stitch it for the holiday. So this is Mouse's Lucky Day. It's I don't know, the 7th maybe, I think, mouse design. I started with a Halloween one a couple years ago, and then it was just such a fun little cute thing that I've just been coming up with new ones. So this one is here. And what I wanted to talk about actually was the finishing on this one, because I've done them all the same. So this one actually, normally I glue them on, but this one's unattached, and you can see this board here. I actually reuse it. It's just a pre-purchased thing from Michael's, or you could get it wherever. But it's a board, and what I've done for all of the mouse designs, I have them here, is I've flat finished them. Essentially what that is, there's 2 layers here. So all the mice, here's the Halloween one. It's a matte board. Then you glue on some quilt batting, and I use hot glue, and you just hot glue stuff to the back. So I've finished the stitching that way. And then I pick some complementary fabric. In this case, I've also used just complementary ribbon. I just choose something that kind of makes the colors pop. I'm a real fan actually of like a neutral background fabric and then making the design pop. I think maybe because I typically choose bolder colors. And so anyways, for my own taste, I like a neutral, you know, somewhat variated fabric, and then the colors will pop. And then I try to choose some kind of fun complementary colors of fabric and ribbon to finish it with. So yeah, so flat finishing is really easy. I usually give about a ½ inch or more extra matte board around the edge of the design, hot glue it on the back, and then you just hot glue this to this piece. And you know, in this case I put it on a board, but you can put it on just about anything. I've used, for the moon bell pull, I used a frame that was just a bit larger, and I cut a piece of matte board and glued it right on there. So it's in a frame without glass. But I like these boards, and then you can just switch these out like seasonally or whatever, right? So yeah, so I wanted to show that because that's how I store them too. They're so much easier to store when they're just flat like this, right? So I've got the Halloween one. This was Mouse's 4th of July ride, which I really like. I've had a few requests for a Canadian mouse. I'll see what I can do. And then Mouse's Love Letter, which I've seen a number of finishes on that one. That one's a really fun one. And then I'll show you this one again. This is the latest one, Mouse's Lucky Day. And I should tell you, there is at least one more mouse coming because I'm stitching the model right now for one, a summer one. And then we'll have to see. It's been fun trying to come up with different adventures and different ideas for mouse, but we'll have to see. Yeah, oh, and I'll show you the charts too, because these are really cute. So these are the paper version of the charts. So I'll give you a quick peek. And that's the back. And they all come in that format here, so you can collect them all. And the PDF versions are all the same information. I just remove all of the colored backing because nobody wants to waste their home printer ink on background printing. So it's really just the picture and some of the information, and then you get a full page, full color chart. And I've actually started adding in the newer ones, and I hope to go back to do older charts as well, but in the last year and a half, I guess, I've been adding a black and white chart as well that is compatible with Pattern Keeper. So that's kind of exciting. I know a lot of you guys use Pattern Keeper. I guess I'm an old school iPhone user, I guess, because I just open it in files and it just reads PDFs there. But a lot of people use Pattern Keeper, and so the black and white symbol ones will work for that program. So that's kind of cool. All right, so where are we now? Let's do, oh, I wanted to show you guys the Hello Spring one. So that is the Easter Spring stitch along that's going on now. Part 1 and Part 2 have released already, and Part 3 is coming up April 1st. I'm going to show you the whole design here. So depending on when I get this up, you might get a few days to a week's advance notice. But the charts have already shipped to stores, and so wholesalers already have seen this. But they're supposed to hold off and not post images online. It doesn't always work that way. But okay, so here we are. So Part 1, Part 2, and Part 3. So now you can see why I called it Hello Spring. Okay, so this one is done on navy 14 count Aida. To be honest, I just feel like these days it's sometimes hit or miss whether or not you can find specialty fabric. So I thought it'd be nice for a spring one to just find something that was easy to find, source locally, or you could dye your own fabric, blue or black or whatever you want. The design, actually, I've seen it on slightly lighter colors as well, and it's just fine. If you want to do it on white or something, you might want to just change out these, but otherwise you could do it on a lighter fabric as well. Also, I had some requests for a separate version of Easter eggs because, yeah, you know, not everybody wants to mix spring and Easter decor. I get that. And also because Easter, as somebody pointed out, is in autumn in Australia. So this really doesn't work for anyone who's living in the Southern Hemisphere, right? It's the wrong season. So what I've done is I've left the eggs, but I changed them into more just bird's eggs, like robin's eggs. And I have a version that you get automatically when you purchase the PDF that says bird nests. And if there's anyone watching who has purchased the paper pattern, of course the paper pattern just has the original wording on it. If you would like the alternate wording, just send me a quick email and I can provide that. I just have a little separate chart that you can replace this section with. So yeah, so I think this is actually quite fun. It was a little bit chalkboard inspired, and it follows up, of course, with the same type of theme and look as the Witches Go Riding from Halloween and when stockings were hung, or stockings are hung. Yeah, stockings were hung for the Christmas one. So yeah, this is slightly smaller. It's but yeah, I really like the tall, like tulip kind of flowers and the little gnome. And I really like how these turned out. Yeah, so these are actually stitched with, this model stitched with the specialty fabrics and, I'm sorry, not the specialty fabrics, I can't talk today, specialty threads. So we've got a mix of Weeks Dye Works and Classic Color Works in there. And I think the teal is, oh, it's a Weeks Dye Works, it's Caribbean. Yeah, it's a really fun color, actually. I really like how it turned out on these little watering cans. So yeah, and the fun sort of like lettering here. It's a mix of just cross stitch and a little bit of back stitching in there to give it some dimensions. All right. So I think the last thing I have to show you is a new one that's coming out on April 1st. I've already shown a sneak peek on Instagram, and I really like this one actually. It's a little different than what I normally do. It's a little more elaborate, I guess you could say, but this is the Mushroom Forest. I'll show you close-ups of it. Yeah, so I stitched this one myself actually. It was a really fun stitch. It had a lot of back stitching, which really makes it pop. So it's one of those magic back stitching ones. But it was a really fun stitch. And you could finish it in a hoop because it is virtually round. I think it's just maybe like one stitch off in the height. But I thought it'd be kind of neat to, again, my favorite board finishes. It's flat finished, and then I picked some fun, you know, again, neutral kind of ribbons, I guess. And then just to kind of like give the illusion of it being round, I had the square ones on at first. This is like a really pale gray gingham ribbon. And then I thought, oh, it'd be kind of neat to do a little color over here, so it kind of makes it look more round. So there's that one. So that's going to be coming out on April 1st as a PDF and a hard copy. I'll show you a copy of the chart here. That's the chart. And here's a couple fun facts for you. So when I was looking around the house for display stuff. I know my oldest daughter, she actually, well, it's cute. She's painted this, and she actually made this out of clay. So she's quite creative as well in her own right. And this is like a little planter from her room. So I kind of raided her room for props. Yeah. So I think that just about does it. Oh, you know what? One other thing I wanted to mention was the spring wreath. And then we'll go. So this is the spring wreath, which came out a couple months ago, and you guys have seemed to really like it. I've seen people changing up the colors, and this was kind of a neat collaboration actually, because the fabric was a custom fabric that like Dove Stitch / Fabric Flair did for me. So you can actually find the fabric in other places as well, but from their website directly if you want to go and look for it. It's actually under my name. I didn't want to use my name originally. I thought, oh, do people really need to know that? But they thought that would be a good idea. So it's called Tiny Modernist Spring Watercolors. So you can look it up on there. It's a 28 count linen, and it's very, I don't know if you can even get the coloring in there, but it's a very pale kind of pink and purple printed to look like a hand-dyed fabric. So it was a nice thing to stitch up on. And then the floss is Cosmo Floss, which is actually really lovely. It's a Japanese floss brand. I don't know if anyone's ever had any experience with it, but it's quite nice. And they've been making some moves more into North America recently, and they're really great to work with. I know. I think there are a few stores that do carry it already, and I'm hoping that in the next little while more stores will start to carry it. They're trying to make it more available in North America now, so hopefully that will happen. So that's the last one I think I want to show you. And I think that's that. So thank you so much for sitting here and listening to me stuff. You know what, I'm honestly happy to answer questions and comments and kind of things. So send me an email or comment below. You can subscribe to my channel, and maybe you'll get another FlossTube in like 2 years. Or I'll try to be more on top of things and do another one in the next little while. So anyways, thank you so much, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and see you soon. Bye.